What's up everyone? Today I'm down at Dave Edwards Toyota and behind me is a 2019 Toyota Avalon. Huge thanks to them for providing this car for me today. I'll have a link to their website down in the description below. And the model that we're looking at today is the Touring. It's finished off in midnight black metallic and has an MSRP just under $45,000. Under the hood is a brand new 3.5 liter V6 paired only to an 8-speed automatic with steering wheel mounted paddle shifters and rev matching downshifts. Also available is a 4-cylinder hybrid. This engine produces more horsepower and consumes less fuel than the previous generation, with figures at 301 horsepower at 6,600 RPM and 267 pound-feet of torque at 4,700 RPM. This is the same engine in the new Camry as well. Its front-wheel drive weighs around 3,700 pounds depending on the trim and engine level you go with. 0 to 60 can happen in around 9 seconds with a top speed of 130 miles an hour, and with a fuel capacity of 17 gallons, you can expect the MPG to be 22 in the city and 31 on the highway. The wheelbase measures 113 inches. It has an overall length of 195.9 inches. The width is 72.8, it has a height of 56.5 inches. Overall, this is longer, lower, and wider than the predecessor, improving center of gravity for better handling. Starting up front, this vehicle comes standard with LED headlights with adaptive cornering, along with LED daytime running lights. It has a large, wide, punctual grille with horizontal slats, finished off in black mesh with dark surrounds. There's 4 forward-facing sensors throughout the grille, very clean lines coming along the hood, and each side of the bumper has a more aggressive design for better aerodynamics. Moving on to the side, this features 10-spoke 19 by 8-inch alloy wheels with a nice two-tone finish. The body-colored side mirrors have the integrated turn signal along with power folding and the heated option. There's nice chrome trim pieces surrounding the windows. This offers the optional adaptive suspension to improve a softer ride. Has front and rear G sensors and very clean lines running along the door. And finishing up in the rear with the trunk lip spoiler, standard LED taillights with an LED bar that runs the length of the trunk. The turn signals are also sequential and have a very nice design to them. This offers the standard backup camera with rear parking sensors, and for the first time offered on this model, features the dual quad tip exhaust. And now with the key, we'll go ahead and take a more in-depth view of the interior, and as long as I have the key on me, I'll place my hand in the door handle. You'll hear it automatically unlock. The door panel is finished off in solid and perforated synthetic leather with a nice orange stitching running down the armrest. All of the windows are automatic up and down with the lock and unlock and your side mirror adjustments. These seats also have memory adjustments. You can opt for the 14-speaker JBL audio system, a little bit of storage space behind that. It has a nice aluminum release handle, a little bit more trim on the top section of the door. Avalon is written out on the door sill along with down on the floor mats. Moving inside now to the black leather seats with more orange stitching running along the outside. They have really good bolsters to them. Perforated leather in the center as they are heated and ventilated seats. These have an 8-way power adjustability along with 4-way lumbar power support. Once inside, we're greeted with a fully wrapped black leather steering wheel with solid leather to the top and bottom, perforated leather on each side. All of the buttons on the right side control the cruise control along with lane keeping assist, more buttons for the radio. The buttons to the left control more of the radio and Bluetooth. All of these control the 7-inch screen in the gauge setup. So using the buttons on the left side of the steering wheel, we can scroll through a couple different options. You can look at your miles per hour along with distance to empty. Look at the compass, your music. Take a look at all the technology features and being able to turn those on and off. More phone settings. Taking another look at the gauge setup, the tach and engine temperature on the left side, speedometer and fuel gauge on the right. Nice chrome accents around them as well. To the left of the steering wheel is an odometer reset along with a fuel cap, rear trunk release, automatic headlights, traction control, and the heated steering wheel. There's more leather above that and one air vent. Another speaker in the front A pillar there. Coming along the center is the 9-inch touchscreen display screen. Taking a look at the center screen now, there are a lot of different things that you can configure using this. We're on the home screen right now with navigation on the right and audio on the left. You can put weather there, you can change the bottom too and have this in a variety of different ways. We can go over to menu, you can look at navigation full screen. We can go back with your audio, your phone. There's more apps that you can configure to however you'd like. You can click on audio to the side if you want instead of on the screen itself, along with pulling up the navigation. There's radio buttons and track buttons on the left, a phone and apps button as well. To the left and right are more radio controls with the scroll on the right and power and volume to the left. Below that screen there's 2 air vents. This also features dual zone climate control, so you have both of those settings on each side, along with the heated and ventilated seats. More of the AC controls and finished off in nice aluminum running along the bottom. To the left of that is the engine start stop button. There's also more storage space in front of the shifter. We can open up this compartment to reveal the wireless charging port, along with a good amount of storage space. It's nicely finished off in leather. Behind that is 2 cup holders with nice aluminum accents and more leather, along with the leather wrap shifter. With the car on now, we'll go ahead and put it into reverse so you can see the backup camera light up. There are 2 different angles that you can view this at. One is widescreen, one is a little more narrow, and you can adjust the backup lines also. We can also bring the shifter down and to the left and use this to go between the gears. This also does feature the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters again. Behind the shifter, there's 3 different driving modes, Eco, Normal, and Sport, which I'll get to later in this video, along with a brake hold button and electronic parking brake. We'll take a look at the leather-wrapped center console. There's a good amount of storage space down there with 2 USBs, a removable tray on the top, and we'll go ahead and take a look at the glove box. Has a good amount of room down there. One last look at these leather seats. And this does feature the sunroof. All those controls are up in the center, along with the dome light switches, a safety button, and there are some garage door buttons on the rear view mirror. Now we'll go ahead and take a look at the rear seating. The door panel is obviously finished off like the front, very nice leather. 1 speaker and a little bit of storage for a cup holder. This is a 5-seater sedan, so let's go ahead and hop in. Behind both front seats, there's a little bit of storage space. These are heated rear seats, so you have those controls on each side of 2 USBs and more vents in the center. With the front seat set at my height, 5'10", I have plenty of leg room. I also have a lot of headroom, so there's definitely a lot of room in the back. Take a look at the center pullout. You have 2 cup holders and a little bit of storage in front of that. Here's the view out of the rear seats. More of the JBL speakers in the door. These seats also fold flat and have a 60-40 split to them, so if there's anything that you need to throw through, you have the option to do that. Now we'll go ahead and take a look at the trunk storage space. You can either use the button on the inside or hold the button on the key fob and it will automatically open up. There's 16.1 cubic feet of storage space in the back with these seats up, and obviously much more with the seats down. It extends a little bit on each side. Up top, there's the pull releases for both seats to fold those completely flat. And you can see just how much more room there is with them down. So plenty of storage space in the back seat of this sedan. So getting the Avalon out on the road now, the first thing that I want to go over is the heads-up display. I haven't mentioned that just yet, but right now I'm looking at the miles per hour, the tach, a speed limit sign, and the compass. Everything is nice and bold, very easy to see. Even in the direct sunlight here, I can visually see everything, so the readout is really good. The next thing that I want to go over is the visibility. Obviously, looking out of the front, it's really easy to see. The side mirrors are back just a little bit, so you can see in front of both of them between the A-pillar and the mirror itself. Looking over your left and right shoulder, not much of a blind spot. The pillars in the back are very slim, so it's easy just to glance over each shoulder and be able to see all around. And then putting a couple miles on this car so far, it's very comfortable to be behind the wheel. The seats have good bolstering to them, so they give you great support. The heated and ventilated options are really nice to have. I have the ventilated seats on right now because it's over 100 degrees right now, and I can definitely feel the seats doing their job, keeping me nice and cool. And along with that is the noise from the inside. You really don't hear much road noise. There's no tire noise or anything like that. It's very well insulated to give you a nice comfortable ride. I could just sit back and cruise in this for a good road trip. And then moving on to all the interior materials, I like the layout of everything. I also like how the steering wheel is leather. Of course, the seats, there's aluminum accents everywhere as well. I also like the fact that the ventilated and heated controls are actual buttons. You don't have to go into the screen and search for them. You can easily go down and change them, along with the temperature for the dual zone climate control. This car also features a lot of standard safety features like pedestrian detection, radar cruise, lane departure, ABS. The Toyota Safety Sense is what bundles all of this together, along with the blind spot monitoring and other features like that, with the forward-facing sensors and rear-facing sensors as well. So you have all of those standard safety features, and again, you can go into the center screen setup and control those, turn those on and off, which is nice to have. So now I'm going to go on to the 3 different driving modes. I've had it in Eco for most of the driving. Really haven't heard much noise on it. If I step on it a little bit, it gets up and goes, but it's pretty quiet. I'll go ahead and put it over into Sport mode and give it a little bit of gas. Wow. There's definitely a huge difference between Eco and that, and hopefully you guys could hear the engine a little bit. Obviously it's not loud or anything, but it definitely had a good tone to it. Putting it over into Sport Mode 2 also stiffens up the suspension because this does have the optional Sport Tune suspension. Putting it back into Eco, it does get a little bit softer. So you also have the option to stiffen up the suspension. You can get heavier steering and quicker throttle response, along with being able to shift gears quicker between Sport Mode and Eco Mode, so that's really nice to have as well. So overall, this has been a really comfortable car to drive. I love all the features that it has. Everything is easy to use. You have the storage space in the back seats along with in the rear itself, and being able to fold down the seats, so plenty of storage room for anything that you need. The back seats really do offer a lot of room. At 5'10", someone even taller than me could comfortably fit back there. So you could easily put 4 or 5 people in this and have a lot more room for anything that you need. Now we'll go ahead and take one last look from the passenger side. Very nice, clean looking door panel, more leather on the dash, and a nice clean setup in the center setup. Take another look at the beautiful black leather seats. Now we'll take one last look from the rear seats. I have them folded down so you can get this perspective and how much room you have back to the trunk. Definitely a lot of room in the back seats. So that is my walk around review and test drive of the 2019 Toyota Avalon. Huge shout out again to Dave Edwards Toyota for providing this car for me today. It definitely has a lot to offer, both technology wise and out on the streets. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button. I will see you guys next video.